What is the best tank for your vivarium?
Let's talk about it.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're Tangled Earth Vivariums, and we have made a lot of bioactive tanks for various reptiles, amphibians, insects, and other critters.
We've gotten the chance to try out a lot of different enclosures, and we get asked all the time, what tank do you guys recommend and which tank should I buy for XYZ, whatever your pet is. So today we're actually going to go through our top 5 tanks that we have liked using, and we're going to go through the features of each, the pros and cons of each, and by the end you should hopefully know which tank is right for you personally.
Please hit the subscribe button if this kind of content resonates with you. It will really help us grow the channel.
All right, let's get into it.
So there are a lot of different kinds of enclosures that you can use and buy for your needs. There's top opening tanks, PVC tanks, and front opening tanks. This video is going to be focused on front opening tanks only.
These tanks are commonly used for animals like dart frogs, crested geckos, leopard geckos, very common pets like that. These tanks might not be as common for something like a boa constrictor or a tarantula.
The front opening tanks comes in a lot of different sizes and shapes, but they typically all have a hinged door opening, a mesh lid top, and a sealed bottom section that can hold water or dirt.
All right, the very first brand that we're reviewing is called ZooMed. If you go to your local chain pet store, whether that's Petco or PetSmart, this is probably going to be what you see. ZooMed makes these glass tanks with wire mesh lids, front opening doors, and a locking mechanism, which is all pretty standard for most of these front opening tanks. They've got front ventilation right under the glass that helps promote airflow. Now, ventilation is something that's going to come up a little bit when we're reviewing tanks. Basically, having a mesh lid or having ventilation at the front or on the sides is going to let air to flow through the tank, which can be helpful for your animals, so it's not just stagnant stewing in there. It helps regulate the humidity. It'll make the humidity lower the more ventilation you have, and it's good for your plant growth and stuff. A lot of tanks are going to have the front ventilation like ZooMed, but not all the ones on this list do.
If you want to have electronics in your tank like fans or aquarium pumps, sensors, things like that, it's really important to have a place that all these wires can exit your tank. So ZooMed has a port at the top back of the tank by the lid for these wires to run out of. And we think that this top back method is definitely the sleekest method of running wires outside your tank.
The lid is fully removable so that you can access the tank from above, not just from those front doors. And this can be really useful if you make an aquarium filter compartment for like a waterfall or something, or if you want to easily access a fan system you build, or if you keep an arboreal small species like day geckos and you want to be able to pick them up and take them out easily for some reason, it's helpful to be able to get that top lid off.
ZooMed makes a lot of kits for their tanks. So instead of just selling the tank, they'll sell the tank packaged with light, a water dish, a food dish, substrate, plastic plants, a background, things like that. So you might be able to get a little bit more bang for your buck if you go for the ZooMed option.
They make a variety of sizes, including tall tanks and long tanks, all the way up to a 36 by 18 by 36. We've used ZooMed quite a bit over the years, actually. Our frog's very first 12 by 12 by 18 was actually ZooMed, and we've had great experiences with them, and we've even called their helpline before when the door to that 12 by 12 by 18 broke, and they sent us a free replacement. So they have great customer service. So this is a note about pretty much all the tanks on this list, but the mesh at that top is not going to be small enough to keep small insects like fruit flies from escaping. And if you get a micro gecko, like a neon day gecko or like a morning gecko, their babies can sneak out the gaps around the top lid and front door pretty easily. So we've kept morning geckos in these tanks and the babies can always weasel their way out. This is going to be the case for almost every tank on this list, but ZooMed, I would say, is not a great option for these really small animals.
To compare the costs of all the tanks we're talking about today, we're just gonna keep it pretty standard and compare the cost of an 18 by 18 by 24. As of today, a ZooMed 18 by 18 by 24 is gonna cost $194, but Petco has sales pretty regularly, and we've seen sales up to 50% on these if you're patient.
Like right now at our local Petco, it's 50% off. I just checked.
All right.
Good deal. I would say overall, some of the pros for this tank, it's very commonly available at large chain reptile stores, so it's easy to get your hands on. It's got good airflow, both front and top ventilation, lots of different size and shape options, and it comes with a watertight bottom. Now I will say I have experienced leaks with these tanks, so I would always check your tank before you put stuff in it, do a water test, check for leaks, maybe even reinforce the silicone. So I would not say this is the most secure or well-assembled tank on this list, but it's pretty good.
And I would say the major con of ZooMed tanks is you can really only find them in store. It doesn't seem like they have an online presence. So if you're wanting to be more flexible, you'll have to go through your local retailer versus being able to shop online yourself.
Another con is it's honestly one of the more expensive ones on this list, and I don't think you're getting any huge increases in value necessarily for that extra expense.
Next up, we've got Zilla. They are pretty similar to ZooMed. They're glass, have front and top ventilation, and come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. Like ZooMed, they're mainly found at pet stores like PetSmart and Petco, but unlike ZooMed, you can sometimes find the smaller sizes online.
Any of the tanks we talk about today, if they're available online, we'll provide links below so you guys can go check them out yourself and compare. And the Amazon links are also affiliate links, so using those is a great way to help out the channel with no extra cost to you. They'll be linked down in the description.
So the Zilla tanks are going to be a little bit more affordable than ZooMed, with an 18 by 18 by 25 going for about $150.
For whatever reason, their sizes are not exactly the same as other tank sizes. They're usually off by like an inch or so. Maybe it's a metric system thing, but it's very similar tank size, going for, about 40 bucks cheaper than the ZooMed. But these guys do not have a standard price, right? It's going to depend on your retailer. So 150 is what we found near us and what I found a couple different examples of, but I have seen as high as 200 or more, just depending on how much your local reptile store decides to price it, which is another disadvantage, I guess, of not being able to buy it online.
The Zilla tanks come with a foam textured background compared to the ZooMed, which we talked about earlier, comes with a photo background.
Some pros of the Zilla: they're available both in person and online, even though the online selection is pretty small. They're pretty much the cheapest pre-assembled tanks that you can get. I would say their quality is comparable to the ZooMed. They have also got that front ventilation, top ventilation, so a lot of the same pros. They also come with package deals, although I've only really seen these packages on the smaller tanks, so up to 8 by 8 by 12. I haven't seen them for the 18 by 18 by 24 and above. Some cons: it can be really hard to find larger sizes of these. Above 18 by 18 by 25, I've really only seen long style tanks. So if you want a really tall vertical paludarium or something for your climbing animals or something, I don't think Zilla is going to be the way to go, because I don't think their options are very strong.
Next up, we are going to review ReptiZoo. This is the first takedown tank on the list, and takedown tanks basically mean they come disassembled and you have to build them yourself, kind of like a bit of IKEA furniture. They're typically more budget friendly and more available online since they are way easier to ship.
With takedown tanks, you always need to make sure that they are watertight. I mean, you should do this for all your tanks, but especially the takedowns. And you should reinforce with silicone once you've put it together. Put it silicone along all the seams to make sure that there are absolutely no leaks.
The ReptiZoo tanks are available in a few different materials, from acrylic and PVC walls to glass walls and even mesh walls, which can make them really customizable to your needs or your animal's needs. There's no front ventilation, but there is still that mesh lid on top to have some airflow. For some animals who need even more airflow, you can do the sides out of mesh, and that will be a lot of airflow. That is good again for animals like chameleons, but for dart frogs or other animals where you want it to keep it a little bit more humid and tropical, you would want to go with the glass or acrylic walls. And these are all options that you kind of have to decide as you are checking out. It doesn't come with all the options. You have to choose which one you want to buy.
Unlike the last two, there is no roof port for the wires. There is a side circular port mounted on the wall that the wires run out of. And the side ports, I think they're very easy to work with, but they are not my favorite at all. I think they're a bit of an eyesore, and I think they're less easy to hide with hardscape.
The ReptiZoo tanks also have locks on their front doors. They are the only tank on our list that has a physical key for their lock. So if you have small kids or a cat or something, you don't want to be able to open the door, this might be a really good option for you.
But also the lock's bigger, so maybe it's a little bit of an eyesore, I don't know.
In some of the ReptiZoo versions, the bottom is pre-joined together and you just put up the sides yourself. so it should be watertight, but again, we always recommend that you reinforce it with silicone.
The ReptiZoo sizes go up to 36 by 18 by 36, so they get quite large as well. And they're super easily available on Amazon, and basically whatever size or orientation that you need, you'll be able to find it on there. They got long, they got wide, they got paludariums, so it's a great selection.
An 18 by 18 by 24 ReptiZoo cost around $162, which makes it a bit more expensive than Zilla, but cheaper than ZooMed.
Once you start getting into larger and larger tanks, like the 18 by 24 by 36, the ReptiZoo is going to start becoming much more cheaper than both the ZooMed and the Zilla. And this is true for most takedown tanks. This cost doesn't scale up as rapidly with size as it would with the pre-built tanks.
All right, so to summarize, the pros of this tank to us is regardless of the reptile store options around you, you can still get whatever size you're looking for online. They're affordable and you can save even more money by choosing acrylic walls versus glass. And the mesh side option is really great for those animals that need more airflow like chameleons.
Some cons, you do have to assemble it yourself, so if that's not your favorite, then it's some extra work and it could leak if you're not careful. It's true for any of the tanks on this list, but I would say ReptiZoo is by far the most prone to leaking that we're going to talk about here. So always double check before you escape and before you get your animal in there.
Next up, we're going to talk about a newer brand in the industry called Advinci. This is another takedown tank, and we haven't seen as much talk about it, but we think they're kind of an up-and-coming and underrated brand.
We think they look sleek and professional. They have a mix of aluminum and white plastic, which is pretty unique. All the other tanks look very similar. Yeah, they're all black. For an 18 by 18 by 24, when you order it, it will come with the glass walls and acrylic walls. So you can mix and match. You can do 2 acrylic, 1 glass. If you want to look through the side, you can even put it in, try it out, and then take it out. So it's nice that it gives you that choice. When you start getting into the larger tank sizes, I believe you have to select whether you want glass or acrylic during checkout, so you don't get both for free. But for the smaller tanks, like the 18 by 18 by 24, you get to try them both out, which is nice.
The Advinci tanks are the only tanks on our list where the lid doesn't open. So you can't open the lid up from the top. It's actually bolted onto the tank.
So the wired port is in the top back by the lid like it is with the Zilla and the ZooMed, but you have to fully unscrew that lid and remove it to run wires out, which means you're basically taking apart the tank. So that means you have to run all your wires out when you're building the tank. I have unscrewed tanks before that I already fully built to get wires out, and it's a little bit of a pain. I wouldn't want to be doing it if I had animals in there. So that is something to note. The lid is also metal with these holes drilled in it. It's not wire mesh. So I've heard reports that less light actually makes it through to your tank. We haven't had any issues with it so far. All our plants and everything do great, but something to note. I also think the large holes would let fruit flies escape even easier. I mean, fruit flies can pretty much get out of normal mesh.
The bottom of the Advinci tank is actually solid plastic, not acrylic pieces silicone together. So it's kind of like a tub. So if your water level is below that piece, then there is no risk of having a leak, which is really great.
That solid plastic bottom, along with like the aluminum sides and everything, also makes it very, very lightweight. So it's less than half the weight of the other takedowns and definitely much lighter than all the pre-built ones. So if you travel a lot, if you want to take it to reptile fairs, or if you are in college and you drive it home on your breaks or whatever, it's really, really good for transport and carrying the tank around.
There's no front ventilation with this tank, but again, the lid on top still has the holes.
Since there's no front ventilation and there's a tub at the bottom that is complete plastic and it's not see-through, there's no way for you to see into the tank below the bottom of the door, which a lot of other tanks have. If you wanted to be able to see into a pool, for example, you can't do that with the Advinci. But the doors are very, very large compared to other tanks. They come down much lower, which makes the tank feel very, very big because there's no bar bisecting the tank in the middle, which I think looks very nice.
The tank only comes in this white gray color, which is pretty unique and could be a pro or a con depending on your personal taste in decor and colors.
Yeah, usually we black out the sides of our tanks and it matches very well, but for the Advinci, we actually had to black it out and then paint over it in white to make it match. So it was a little more work for us to try and incorporate it into our house personally.
The Advinci tanks are available on Amazon and they do ship a variety of different sizes from little to very large.
Yeah, they probably have the largest selection of takedown tanks available that I've seen. And they're also stackable. which is super unique. You can get these little bars that go to separate the tanks and join them together, and you can basically turn the tanks into your rack if you want to have a reptile room, and they will stack on top of each other. I haven't personally tried stacking them, but I think that's the main reason why they try to make them so lightweight and do a solid plastic tub at the bottom. And the reason that the lids don't open is because they're meant to be stacked, which is pretty cool. I see a lot of reptile rooms with tanks on tanks on tanks. So eliminating, I guess, the racking system that you would have to buy separately is a cool idea.
An 18 by 18 by 24 Advinci tank is going to cost around $200, which is pretty high, but once again, they start becoming more affordable in comparison to the pre-built tanks as you go up in size.
Definitely more expensive than the ReptiZoo, which is, I would say, is the other competitive takedown tank. But as you get larger and larger, still going to be cheaper than the pre-assembled ones.
So in summary, the pros of the Advinci tanks, in our opinion, is that they are available online, they are stackable, they have a pretty unique, sleek, professional look, leak-proof bottom, and acrylic and glass options.
Some cons: less light can make it through the lid. They are expensive compared to other takedown tanks, and the plastic bottom is not going to be suitable for things like heating mats that you might put underneath a glass tank. I don't know if that's actually true, I haven't tested it, but I'm assuming because it's acrylic and acrylic can melt and glass is less likely to.
So last but definitely not least, we have Exo-Terra.
These are pretty much the Vivarium brand for tanks. You've definitely seen these in the reptile hobby.
Exo-Terra makes the pre-built glass enclosures with front and top ventilation. They come in a wide variety of sizes and proportions, so you can get ones with smaller or larger bottom areas for paludarium style scapes. You won't really be able to get anything bigger than an 18 by 18 by 24 online, so you'll be limited by what the reptile stores around you carry.
But the new Pro line is out now, and we have had really good experiences with it so far. It's got new doors and new locking mechanisms that I think are pretty sleek. The locking mechanism is a two-part locking mechanism, and it's, I would say, very child-proof, considering it was also adult-proof, and we could not figure out how to open it, and we had to watch a YouTube video. It doesn't have a physical key, but I think it's pretty good if you want to keep small animals or small children out of it. The front ventilation is adjustable now with the new Pros, which none of the other tanks have so far, so you can close it or open it more based on the humidity you want inside your tank.
And the Pros in larger sizes also have a drainage port that you can use for easy water changes or maintenance.
Yeah, which is super convenient. I mean, right now we stick hoses in our tanks to like drain the water, so it's nice to just turn a tap and drain some water and turn it back off. And no other tanks really have that right now, so that's a big plus if you want to have a paludarium tank, or if you have auto misters that raise the water slowly over time. Like the other pre-assembled tanks, the lid is removable, so you can open up the lid, and it has a port in the back for wires.
The Pros also have a much tighter seal around the doors, so little critters like baby money geckos cannot get out, which is a huge pro for us.
Or have a harder time getting out. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but we had some very, very small day geckos in our Pro, and they were not able to escape. An 18 by 18 by 24 Exo-Terra Pro costs around $170. Again, this one is going to depend on the retailer if it's stocked in person, because it's going to be maybe difficult to find online. That cost puts it on the more expensive side, but still not the most expensive ones on this list. As you get larger, it's going to be definitely more expensive than the takedowns.
The pros of the Exo-Terra Pros are the built-in drainage options, adjustable ventilation, and tight seal.
Some of the cons, it's a little more on the pricey side, and it can be really hard to find. We've had a really hard time finding Exo-Terras near us. I think there have been some shipping issues to the United States, and it's a whole thing. So just because we like them, doesn't mean we can always get our hands on them.
Yeah. But that said, Exo-Terra is probably our top pick when it comes to what tanks to buy if we are able to get our hands on it.
So that's our top 5, but which one is actually right for you? If you want something that you can grab today, in person with 0 shipping or weight, then I would probably recommend Zoomed or Zilla. And Zilla is the more budget friendly of the two, although their sizing options might be more limited.
If you need a very specific size that chain stores don't carry, Or if you want a big tank on a smaller budget, we would recommend takedown tanks like ReptiZoo or Advinci.
And if you're keeping something specifically where you want to have mesh sides or a lot of airflow, then I think ReptiZoo's modular mesh walls are going to be your best option.
If you're someone who moves tanks a lot, or you're interested in stacking multiple tanks on top of each other, Advinci's lightweight and leak-proof design is probably going to be a good option for you.
And if budget's not your main constraint and you want the best tank possible with adjustable ventilation, built-in drainage, a tight seal, we think the Exo-Terra Pro line is our top pick, but you might have to hunt a little bit to find it. And apparently that's a controversial take. Apparently everyone hates the Exo-Terra Pro redesign, but I think it looks better.
I think it looks sleeker and better in every way. All right, at the end of the day, there is no single best tank. It just really depends on your animal and what it needs, your space, and your budget as well.
Hopefully this gives you a clearer picture of which one might fit you, but let us know in the comments which one you're using or have used in the past, or if there's a brand that we missed out on that you think is really, really good.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video or found it helpful, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. You can follow us on Instagram at Tangled Earth Vivariums, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.